May was another strong month for the central Indiana real estate market, but we did see some changes. FC Tucker Company found all central Indiana counties had an increase in housing prices and inventory, but just a slight decrease in sales. To break it all down, we have that report with us, and Dan Brown here. Good morning. Thanks for being here. So a lot of people watching the housing market. It has just been crazy since the pandemic started, really flip-flopping in different directions. Kind of what's the gist of where do we sit now?
Well, you're right. It has been a very active market, I guess is the best way to put it, for the last couple of years. And, you know, we've had a substantial shortage of single-family housing for years. This has been kind of a chronic problem. And the pandemic just kind of threw gas on an already smoldering fire, and then it erupted. So we've seen 15% increases in prices for the last couple of years, and that's actually still held strong through our last May report, where we compare May results over the previous May. The real story is that the inventory, for the first time in over a year, has perked back up against last year.
Good. I remember doing a story, I think it was in October of 2020, or something like that, and it was like there was only a month worth of inventory in the entire state. So that's actually improved. People can find houses a little bit more easily. Is it still that houses are being bought in a matter of hours?
To a degree, yes. And first of all, you know, a balanced market is about 4 months of inventory.
Okay.
So we've been around 3 weeks or 2 weeks. So when we say inventory is up, we're talking about a modest adjustment up.
Yeah.
But it's good news for home buyers who have been really frustrated, and they're exhausted. They really are, because they're racing around from home to home, and they do sell within a couple of hours. What we have seen is a little bit of a pause in May, and the interest rates picked up significantly over the last quarter. And so I think people have kind of been a little bit more deliberate. Prime homes in really highly sought after locations are still moving very quickly. But overall, I think generally it's slowed just a bit, and maybe we just get a chance to take a breath.
You mentioned those interest rates. How much of a factor is that, and do you think that's going to keep playing a role as we move forward?
It's a great question. You know, and I wish I could tell. People ask me all the time, what are they going to be? And if I could tell you that, I wouldn't be here. But all of the smart people I talk to tell us that, you know, the interest rates are going to taper off, but they have almost doubled. I mean, they went up 2 full points in less than a year, and after being historically low. Buyers under the age of 35 don't remember rates
the 14, 15%
like
of
when
the
I got
90s.
out of college.
Yeah.
So the fact is that they have caused some affordability issues with some people. It has had some folks sit back and say maybe we'll do something next year. But overall, it really hasn't dampened demand.
We really do have to go, but really quickly before we go, do you think it's still a good housing market to get into? This isn't just like a bubble, so to speak.
There is no bubble.
Okay.
There is no bubble. The values that we're seeing, I think, are going to be long term. I think Indianapolis is an outstanding market to live in, and we're reflecting that in our prices.
A long-term asset and investment. Thank you so much for being here. We're learning a lot this morning.